One of the biggest mistakes made through one-sided superficial explanations about empathy is that it's always being presented as something focused on the well-being of the other in the form of us putting ourselves in the other's shoes and understanding their emotions so that we can comfort them or be of help somehow, confusing empathy with compassion. The crucial aspect of empathy that these one-sided explanations of empathy fail to acknowledge is that the primary role of empathy is to help us understand the intentions and, yes, feelings of others, so that we can navigate the world around us. Oftentimes, the goal of our empathetic understanding is not to comfort the other, but rather to call for immediate action upon happenings around us to ensure our own survival. This becomes particularly clear when dealing with kinesthetic empathy, where another person's action immediately causes a bodily reaction and an effect in you, oftentimes before conscious reflection takes place. For example, if you make a sudden thrusting movement of your hand in front of a baby who is just a few months old, you're almost guaranteed that the baby will start crying, understanding that your movement is threatening, without any conscious understanding of what threat or what anger is. How babies manage empathetic understanding at such an early age, I'll talk about that amazing phenomenon in another video. But as you can see in this example, the baby's goal is not at all to comfort you or to calm you down when you're angry, expressed through your thrusting movement, but rather to ensure its own survival by way of crying. So you see how people miss out on a very, very important aspect of empathy when they're directly jumping to it being about others and their well-being. Now that we have established that empathy plays a crucial role in our understanding of other people's intentions, we can go even deeper and talk about what can impair our empathetic understanding. One thing that can impair our empathetic understanding is trust. Yes, as great and important as trust is, the people that we trust and the people that we think wish us well can abuse our trust towards them and use it for manipulation. So while, let's say, Anna is gullibly assuming that Jack is being honest and he has good intentions, Jack is employing empathy, his understanding of Anna's emotions, and his ability to predict her behavior to manipulate her, while Anna's empathetic understanding is at least partially impaired because she trusts Jack. Another thing that can impair one's empathetic understanding is the opposite of trust. I grew up being taught that I shouldn't trust people. And my dad used to teach me that I should always help my friends, never leave them behind, but he also taught me that my friends might leave me behind, and that people might not have the best of intentions at their heart when dealing with you, and they might actually be using you. Seeing these teachings play out in my dad's life and seeing them being true primed me into questioning people's intentions. It is very difficult to know people's intentions. Adults are very good at masking their emotions and their thoughts, but lack of trust can significantly impair one's empathetic understanding, making one think that everybody you meet has ulterior motives. Eventually, we come to the Cooperative Principle by the British philosopher Paul Grice. Grice identified 4 maxims that people obey or follow in communication, and one of them, maxim of quality, is the one that's relevant for trust and manipulation. Maxim of quality is about credibility, honesty, and trust. Do not say what you believe to be false, because according to the Cooperative Principle, your listener assumes that you are saying what you believe to be true, and they're relying on that. But people cheat, be it in what they say, or how they behave, or how they treat one another. They cheat. And this makes it difficult to exercise our empathetic understanding to its full potential. Trust will impair it. Lack of trust will also impair it. You might think better safe than sorry, preferring lack of trust over being manipulated. While being manipulated is terrible, Lack of trust is also terrible because it will lead to difficulties in forming friendships, for example. What's the solution? Well, the solution would be if everyone was trustworthy, if no one cheated, no one manipulated, never flattered you while having bad intentions, but that seems to be a vain wish. Do you have a solution? Let me know your suggestions, your thoughts about trust, lack of trust, manipulation, and their role in empathetic understanding.